so before you guys do anything, this is a part 2. If you have not watched part 1, I advise you to stop watching this video right here and go watch the part 1, because a lot of the things that I talk about in this video are referencing the first video. Okay, so there's a few things I'm going to talk about in this video. I made a little list just so I wouldn't forget anything, and so we can cover everything you need to know in this 2-part series. Okay, so the very first piece of advice I'm going to give you is a command that's actually very helpful, and most people use this. So this is how the AK looks, like default, right? Like when you first download it. Actually, this is how the AK looks default when you first get the game. So look at like the gun. Like you see how it's like very big and very thick, and it covers a lot of your screen. Also, when you spray it, the recoil is very exaggerated since the gun's very zoomed in. So what I recommend doing is putting this command in here, right? I'll put it in the description. So look at my gun when I click enter. Look how much smaller it gets. You see that? So now I can see more on my screen. And the recoil with my gun, since the gun's smaller, looks a lot less extreme when I shoot it. Okay, so the second thing that I want to talk about is going to be sensitivity and resolution. Instead of me giving my favorite sensitivity and my favorite resolution, let's have all of the experienced players that are watching this video comment down below your sensitivity and your resolution, so the newer players can look through the comments and choose which one fits best for them. Okay, so my next piece of advice has got to be movement. Movement is absolutely a top 3 thing in this game. So whether it's like, you climbing up a cliff and trying to get up there quicker, or like trying to strafe into a shot to get a kill, like being comfortable on your keyboard is literally everything in this game, and it will make a huge difference. Okay, so this is gonna sound really silly to probably the majority of you, but honestly, for you new players, like getting comfortable with like the feel of Rust and getting comfortable with your keyboard is very important for PvP and for aim in general. Because movement is 50% of your aim. So even doing something as simple as like jumping up ledges in a weird way, whatever, to get comfortable with your keyboard, maybe come on UKN and just jump on these bears. Whatever you need to do to get comfortable on your keyboard is gonna help you a shit ton. And okay, so this is gonna be a very quick one and very basic, just so make sure this is very clear to everyone. Comms are very important, obviously. It's what's gonna help you in every team situation. What I see a lot of new players doing, or some, like they might fake comm, right? Which is a big issue. Like if you only hit someone in the leg twice, don't call, oh, I headshot double bodied, or I double headshot him, he's 1 HP, or something like that, because that's not gonna help your teammate out. And don't feel bad that, let's say you even whiffed the whole spray, right? Don't feel bad you didn't hit him. Don't lie about your comms, because that could get your teammate killed, because now your teammate's there thinking, okay, this guy's 1 HP, he's probably medding, let me wide swing, or let me peek this other guy to kill him while this guy's medding. But realistically, this guy's not medding, and you never hit him. So don't feel bad and lie about your comms. That is very important. Okay, so I had a couple people in the last video comment about how I didn't go super in depth into peaks. I totally agree with that. So this video, I'm going to cover that a little bit better. Oh, also, I want to clear something up as well. So when I was talking about like distance from peeking off an angle in the last video, I don't mean like peeking off the angle super far like out here, because I'm kind of exposed out here. Still, do not peek super close to the angle like this. That's a little bit crazy. The enemy team will see you before you see them a little bit. And the micro adjustments you have to do are going to be a lot bigger when you're closer up. So find a medium distance like this. Medium distance. And peek off that like this. That is more optimal. Okay, so to start off the peek section, we have to understand how the enemy is going to be aiming if he's an experienced player, and kind of knowing what he's going to do and predicting the enemy. So most likely, if you're behind this wall, the enemy is going to be aiming head level right here, because he's ready for you to swing and he's going to get that immediate headshot. So what your goal is to make the enemy have to micro adjust or adjust as much as possible, have to move his mouse as much as possible to hit the shots on you, right? So what you want to do is use your movement and throw that off, right? So if he's going to be aiming head level, maybe you want to strafe to about here, about this bar, crouch, swing out a little bit in a crouch, and then stand up. Okay, so what that will make the enemy do, so the enemy's aiming head level. So now you're not there, so he can't get the first shot off. You're down here. So now he has to move his mouse down here, and by the time he moves his mouse down here, you're already up here. So he has to go boom, boom, in order to try to kill you or get the best chance possible. Okay, so another way of peeking is like peeking and unpeeking and then waiting at a very awkward time for the enemy and then re-peeking again. That way it throws off your enemy's timings, his predictions, and really plays with his emotions here. So like, for example, like I might jiggle this a little bit, then I might spray a little bit, then I unpeek, I might wait a couple seconds, and he's like, what the fuck, why is he not re-peeking or whatever? And then when he least expects it, I'm gonna re-peek again and finish that kill off. Okay, so what you should take away from these peeks and from what I just said is basically you want to make the enemy have to adjust as much as possible in order to kill you, which, you know, will increase your chances of winning that engagement. And knowing how to jiggle peek, right? Knowing how to peek, unpeek, and then peek again at a very unexpected time to finish that kill. And yeah, those are some very important things, and I would take those to your brain. Okay, so the next piece of advice I'm going to give you guys is like peeking with a teammate, right? So, and peeking off contact. Peeking off contact is huge. So pretend this is my teammate, right? This turret's my teammate, and this is the guy he's engaging with. So the second I hear my teammate engage with this guy, I want to swing off that, because I would rather have this whole fight be a 2v1 against this guy, right? Than giving the enemy a 1v1 and then another 1v1, right? So the second I hear this guy fire with this guy, I'm gonna swing. Even if the enemy kills my teammate, I will be right there to get the immediate trade. And then it's a positive trade for us. Okay, so this goes along with the whole peeking off contact thing. So there's a couple things you can do, right? So as soon as your teammate engages with the enemy, so you can either peek like this maybe and get the angle, get the trade from here, or if the situation calls for it, maybe you want to peek like here, right? So while the enemy here is aiming at your teammate, you're on the opposite end getting that trade. But there's one thing you got to keep in mind. So you still got to apply like isolation knowledge to this whole fight. So maybe if I peek out here, I'm exposed to player B and player C, and that's not the move, because even if I do get the immediate trade on this guy, these guys are going to be trading me right back out, and that's a negative trade for us because obviously we're both dead. So maybe in this situation, I might want to swing with my teammate to help him take out this guy, which isolates the fight from the other guys because the other guys can't see me. So we kill this guy, and then we can play together and clear the rest of the angles to take out the player B and player C. Okay, so I hope all these tips in the video kind of fills in the gaps, maybe some things that I missed from the part 1. But honestly, if you can take away one thing from the video, if you're a new player, I would say get as comfortable as you can with your keyboard as possible. Movement is going to help you out a lot with your aim. If you're one of the people where you're like, oh, my aim is not so good, maybe, I don't know, I can't move my mouse right. Chances are 50% of that, if not all of that, is just going to be because maybe the enemy you're fighting is more comfortable with his movements. He's better at strafing. He's better with his keyboard. So get comfortable with your keyboard. Like jump around, move, just move around, move. All right. Hope you all have a great one. I'm out.